Fishyaker.com, the original kayak rigging video series.
Hi, it's John Oast from Fishyaker.com. I get a lot of questions from people asking, if they should have a rudder on their kayak when they fish. Well, you got to keep a few things in mind. Keep in mind the kayak's going to add at least a couple $100s on the value of your kayak and also add a good amount of weight. And if you're looking at a shorter and a kayak that might have less of a keel line, it might turn quite well even without a rudder. So what's the purpose of your rudder? Why do you want to use a rudder? Well, the initial reason for rudders is to help you aim your kayak and turn your kayak. It helps a whole lot, especially if you have a longer kayak and a really hard keel line, because those kayaks specifically aren't going to turn a whole lot, turn very responsively if you don't have a rudder. But another good reason for a rudder is to help you drift. Like if you're floating in moving water, it's windy, some tidal change, and name it, but it helps keep your kayak from getting cocked and helps you keep a straight line and stay on point and stay on track the direction you're trying to go. So when it comes down to fishing, in reality, the rudder actually is more useful when you come down to windy and flowing water conditions of the sort, more so again than actually how you're turning your kayak. A lot of the kayaks we're using are under, say, 13 feet in length. A lot of those kayaks are going to turn quite well anyway. Personally, for me, if I have a kayak under, say, 14 feet in length, say even my Old Town Predator 13 or my Ocean Kayak Trident 13, my Predator MX, my Trident 11, I typically don't use a rudder on those. When I get into a longer boat, especially when I'm used for more touring and longer distance traveling on the water, I do use a rudder. So the main reason, again, you want the rudder on a longer boat because it's going to help you, maneuver the boat a little bit more, because it's going to take additional paddle strokes on one side to turn it without a rudder, but it's also going to help you drift. But keep in mind some of the hazards, too, of having that rudder on your kayak. If you get into shallow water and you happen to drift or float backwards, you can easily bend or even rip off that rudder. So it's good if you're drifting, but again, make sure you're drifting forward, because the rudder will typically flex right back up if you're going forward, but in reverse or from the side, you can tweak it pretty good, especially if you hit like a submerged log, come up on an oyster bed, or hit a rock, something like that. So keep that in mind. And also, if you're carrying multiple kayaks or you're stacking them, it makes it a lot more difficult to carry that kayak upside down or to stack kayaks on top of each other, because now you got that rudder in a upright position when it's even stowed. So again, keep these things in mind. If you have a shorter kayak, say below 14 feet in length, and you're mainly considering a rudder for maneuverability, you probably won't need one. You can save a couple $100s off the bat by not getting one, and a little bit of weight on it. If you're doing a lot of longer distance paddling, or you have a longer kayak or a harder keel on the kayak, or if you're doing a lot of floating in open water, or you have a lot of wind, then in those conditions, again, it may come in really handy. But it's not always necessary for most of the applications that we're typically using fishing kayaks in. So keep in mind, might save you a little bit of money by not having one if you don't need it. But then again, you may get a kayak and you realize, hey, a rudder would really help me. So if you buy a kayak without a rudder to begin with, remember, most manufacturers will actually sell you the rudder, and you can always put it on aftermarket yourself, or get your local pro shop to help you install it in case you decide you might need it after all. But again, maybe these tips will help you out. Maybe they'll help you to decide. Like I said, I get a lot of questions about rudders on the kayaks. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at Fishyaker.com, or you can also post up on the Fishyaker.com Facebook page. And as always, definitely be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fishyaker on YouTube, and like us on Facebook on Fishyaker.com on Facebook, or simply check us out on the web. So hope this tip helps you, and as always, we hope to catch you on the water, and thanks for watching.